Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's June 8th, 2023, and I thought what I'd do is give you a quick garden update and how things are working out in the gardens here. Thea's over there watering in the greenhouse right now. Wave, Thea, say hello.
Hi, everybody.
So not much has been done in the gardens due to the forest fires in Canada, the smoke infiltrating this area here, and all of the other things that we've been working on with the book reselling business that we've got going on to help try and support the permaculture and nursery area here. And I've been spending some time over on base camp in the forest area there, working on hugelkultur pits over there, and I'll do some updates soon. So we haven't made many changes over here. First, we'll take a look at some of the honeyberries. And again, so the vines from this bindweed, here's some of the bindweed shooting up here. And all it takes is a little segments of the bindweed to even be just on the surface of the ground. And they are just something else. So we've got to get our weed mats down here as soon as we can. But these are the honeyberry plants right here. They're doing well, and you can see the bindweed's working its way right up on here. Lots of new growth, looking really nice. We haven't pruned yet either. More of that darn bindweed. See, and some of them, the flowers have already started to produce some fruit, the beginnings of fruit. Now these will produce fruit all the way down, and they're hidden. Here's some of the honeyberry fruit just starting to grow here. I'm not sure how well you can see it, but they're on the underside of these plants. And these are real small at this point. They'll get pretty darn, a little bit bigger than the blueberries get. And they're doing pretty well. Lots of dew on them this morning here. Man, that bindweed sure is something. Once it gets started, it's really hard to keep under control. There's more bindweed right there. So it's really easy to get overwhelmed when you have a garden like this. And the blueberry plants, lots of weeds in here. Thea was able to put some of the acidifier on it and some nutrients on it as well. So we'll see how the blueberry plants do. You can see lots of blueberries starting here. We got to get the weed mats back up on these plants. But we should have a few blueberries this year. We eat these in our smoothies and in our oatmeal all winter long. Some nice new growth on them. He is leaving some of the chamomile growing in the weed mats. Here. These are the ones we transplanted this fall. So they look okay at this point. Some of the lupine against the wall there. Some more chamomile over there. And so we got to try and get the weed mats back up on here before too long. And the thornless blackberry plants, I need to get over here and weed again and get some weed mats down with them. But there's some nice new growth here. And of course the grasses want to go right up in and amongst them. So, not too bad. So far, so good with the thornless blackberry plants. And again, we only had less stuff to do, it'd be nice to come out here and do a little bit of that hand weeding. It really, that extra bit, you know, using the stirrup hoe can knock things down in between the rows quickly and easily. Especially on those hot, dry days. Man, that works out so well. But right around the base of where the root crown is, you get them intertwined, especially like the bindweed, and they just get a good foothold, send out their lateral shoots, and you know the story from there. Been using the Hulk here down and back, and fuel it up, moving quite a bit of earth down there. This is an Elon, the excavator. Let's go over and take a look at the central garden plot now, which we haven't done anything with yet. We have some plants, some acorn squash, some tomato plants, some pepper plants and all to get over in there. You see, this is the cover crops that I put in here after we harvested our crops. So you can see the brassicas here, you can see the wheat. Wheat's getting ready to go to seed here. Pretty darn nice. The vetch, beautiful flowers. There's a swarm out by the honey hut right now, leaving one of the main hives. I haven't had a chance to do much with anyone out there, but these cover crops are absolutely beautiful. And there's no irrigation going to these at all. And we've been in basically a drought. And man, I'll tell you, they really keep this soil in decent condition. And so the question is now, do I terminate some of them? And then we have to put fencing up around and get the tomatoes and the acorn squash and I can't remember, peppers. We really tried to reduce this year. Or do I just go ahead and terminate this crop and put down tarp to go ahead and kill all the weeds in here, because there are some weeds growing up in here. So we got the daikon radishes, the other brassicas, we got some clover down in there, but the clover is really having a hard time because everything else, the vetch, the brassicas and the wheat have really been taking over. At the sides, the clover is doing okay. But got to decide soon what I'm going to do over there. Now we'll go into the eastern garden plot. And I just got done planting some sweet potatoes, so. And I picked a few weeds from growing up inside of the cattle panel trellis here. So the first thing to see are some of the scarlet red runner beans. Some of them are coming up, but not all of them. So I think it was yesterday or the day before I asked Thea, she came out and put some more seed in some of the voided spots. And I don't know if somebody's gotten after them, been consuming them, or if it's just that they did not emerge. So there's some extra seeds in here as well. We just walk down the one side for now. And we got a few oak. Now Thea did also plant some white clover seed in here, but it's way too dry for that to do anything with yet. And over here, let's take a look at the garlic. We got garlic scapes out here now. So it's about time to harvest the garlic scapes. They are just curling now. Some of them haven't completely curled, so I'll probably wait a day or two and then come out and harvest the garlic scapes. And we may just compost them. I love the garlic scapes. They're delicious. But we're both feeling a bit overwhelmed with all the things going on. So we'll probably end up composting them. And lots of people don't even know too much about the garlic scapes. That it actually is a good, valuable product. The raspberry bushes, they're doing okay. Nothing spectacular yet, and I've got to get over here and weed. But one of the good things about these beds is it's so easy to weed the beds. It's just staying on top of the numbers that can be a pain in the butt. So as you can see, I've got lots of weed in here. So I need to come in here and get this and spare the chamomile in here. And we'll jump over here to the Dutch red shallots. They're doing beautifully so far. Really looking great. And I did plant, it's probably been about a week now, the russet potatoes in here. And I don't see anything emerging yet. Oh, I can see just the beginning of one of the Irish potatoes starting to come up right there. So next week we should start to see a few more emerging, along with all the weeds that'll show up in this area as well. And we'll get over here to the eastern part of the eastern garden plot. Lots of hours of watering. Now we have the drip irrigation on the western garden plot and on the eastern garden plot. That's turned on. But the greenhouse, which really takes several hours to water, and some of the tree IBC totes, they take time. And the whole maple garden setting that I posted a video about probably a week and a half ago. They all have to be watered now at this point. So here we are with the sweet potato patch. Just a few minutes ago I got these in and got them watered. Not too much going on there. Down our strawberry patch here. They're looking pretty good. They are producing some strawberries. I haven't had a chance to go out and pick the flowers off or anything. We'll just let them be and let them send out the runners and spread out to both sides. The swamp white oak trees, as I mentioned before, they didn't do as well as we'd hoped, and the white oaks neither as well. So, and the reason, that was our fault, my fault. I put them in pots and left them out in the greenhouse. There wasn't enough insulation around the pots themselves to keep the roots from getting down dangerously low, below the 15 degrees Fahrenheit, and that killed a lot of them. So don't let that happen again. So our trees, got to bring them indoors if we're going to have them in pots during the winter months. The berry bushes all did well in the greenhouse. Here, some of the swamp white oaks right here. Here we are with our chestnut trees here, and of course it has been very hot and dry. Thea just harvested a few of the kale here as well. The English oak trees here, more English oaks, and the white oaks right in here. These really took the biggest hit. Now we'll go down these are the root suckers that were damaged. So there's only a few of the thornless blackberry plants that are actually showing any life here. But interesting enough, the ones that I didn't think would make it were the honeyberries or haskaps. They're actually taking good root. I could see down in here. I want to be careful I don't knock off any of their foliage yet. But I can't complain. We got over a dozen of them there. We still have some thornless blackberry plants that are doing okay this way. But that is not the optimal way of starting the thornless blackberry plants. When they don't have any root hairs on them, they're just snapped off of the base of some of the root crowns when we're digging up and transplanting the thornless blackberry plants. So that system doesn't work very well, but it did work for the honeyberries. Got to make a note about this. And of course, we'll take a quick walk up front so you can see the maple trees and all. One of the peach trees right there, and some of we planted these little ones here just a few years ago. These are red maples here, and a real nice maple there. And Thea just got done watering up here. So the thyme is doing great. The irises, all of these things, with the exception of the thyme. Sorry, I'll turn the camera here. All of the plants here have basically been uprooted and transplanted, with the exception of the thyme. My brother Jim, he brought down some of the irises for us, and did it in the springtime. So we got those in, but then we dug them up to go ahead and mulch and compost the area. You can see the oregano is doing great up here. More oregano, thyme, lots of irises in here. Hostas put over in here. Looks like I've got some honey locust seedlings starting to pop up underneath the dwarf maple trees here. I'm not at all worried about the ferns. They will come back. And then we have the hostas all along in here. So we have 4 different cultivars of the Japanese maple trees. And we just got to keep everybody watered here so that they'll do okay. And I still have a lot more cleaning to do around here and all. Walk around this side of it. Eventually I want to put a sidewalk in where I'm walking now, in our front entrance area, but that'll be a while. Oh, and some of the flowers are falling over. Beautiful irises. So that's what we've got going on right here. So that's it for today's video, folks. I thought I'd give you a quick 17-minute tour of the gardens. And yeah, we're a bit overwhelmed. A lot to do. And just the two old farts doing it and all. But that's the situation many people are in. And many of them have tremendous challenges. All those people in the fire zones, man, I feel for them. It's got to be terrible, especially those who are losing a lot of work and a lot of money invested in their properties. And all of the people who are suffering from the inhalation of all these very small particles that get into our respiratory systems, can get into our skin pores and all. So stay safe, take good care of yourselves, stay inside when it gets real bad. Today I decided to come out and get some things done. I have been real fortunate that when we drive, we're in a Tesla, so they have an advanced air filtration system in there, so it removes all of those PM2s, PM2.5s, all of the polycyclic hydrocarbons and all. So that's a major thing. Our heavy equipment has good filters in it. Doesn't remove all those really tiny ones, but it does a pretty good job. So I've been able to do some work inside some of the equipment. And we got some Fort Drum helicopters coming. So that's it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Take good care of yourselves and stay safe. Bye-bye now.